Hi parents, my name is Dr. Tony Ebel, and I wanted to make this quick little video for quite a long time because every time I have this conversation or provide this explanation to parents whose kids are struggling with what we lovingly call raging bull challenges, which may come with any number of diagnoses that fit the ADHD, ODD, anxiety, OCD. It can go in a lot of different diagnoses. We are not here to ever label and diagnose a kiddo. That's just not how pediatric chiropractic and really drug-free sort of care works. We are going to categorize and understand the symptoms here, but what we're going to do is we're going to shift them into your understanding of what's going on with your child's nervous system. And then most importantly, I will get a good dose of understanding for you here in this video as to not only what's causing it within the neurology, but how to help out, what to expect, how long it would take for specifically our specialty with pediatric neuro-focused chiropractic to help. But that's really the basis of this video. So if you're watching it and you know another family, I'm recording this during the COVID tough, crazy times. And what we've noticed is the reason I've been having this 5 levels conversation with a lot more parents is because we are seeing a lot more children struggle with this due to remote learning, sitting in front of a laptop and a computer, trying to concentrate through digital means when a child's nervous system is already stressed. We are just seeing way more of it than ever before because the stress of everything, but especially the stress of remote learning. So that is where I want you to really take notes on this, really understand this. If you have questions, you can certainly comment below. We're going to put it on our Facebook page. We're going to put it on IGTV. We're going to put it on our website and blog and everything. So we will continually check back, even if it's a year down the road you're watching this and you have a question that isn't answered in here, or you're not local to us, you need help, get that comment on there. All right. So again, it's about understanding so we can help them. First off, let's just tackle the definition of this. The raging bull, for me years ago, what we found out when we were taking care of kids in the clinic and really chose this as our specialty is the DSM diagnostic manual is taller than I am nowadays. Now, that's not all too impressive. I'm pretty short. But the truth of the matter is there were so many different labels and diagnoses that parents were coming in with. It's ADHD subtype 3, it's sensory processing, it's back then it was Asperger's or ASD, or, all these different things. And what we found is no matter how it, some of the details came out, because there's just little nuances that then give you a different diagnosis. What we found is that almost all of those kiddos were really struggling from the same 2 things. They had gone through the same case history. We call that the perfect storm. That's not really this video at all, but I'll talk about it at the end and give you access to more understanding there. But they went through a lot of stress during pregnancy, labor, delivery. They were colicky kiddos, frequent ear infections. They were sick all the time, lots of antibiotics. So they had the same case history, whether they ended up with more of an emotional level of a raging bull with anxiety or more of a school focus, behavior sort of one with ADHD. Really every raging bull, the root cause neurologically of their challenges is an overloaded, overstressed, what's called sensory processing or integrating system. They have just such a stressed out fight or flight brain, body, nervous system at all times that it's just going too fast, too much, too soon, and lets loose. So the raging bull is that. A kiddo who is on the gas pedal at all times, even when they're not in the middle of a meltdown or an outburst or a tantrum, as their parent, that's what we're going to depict and really, really give you the classifications using the storm analogy, kind of the 5 categories of a hurricane, yes, or a tornado, I guess kind of fits it too, just different things. I am not a meteorologist, but I am a neuro-chiropractor who has cared for these kids for 13 years and knows everything about their science, everything about their struggles and what you really go through day to day. None of this is superficial. This is real life. And then most importantly, we know how to help. So really what we always talk about with parents and what we have them as they go through care, well, first off, what we get from them at the start as the consult, along with our scans and our exams, to really be able to quantify and measure which of these 5 categories a child is in. And then, of course, what we want to do is back down from the categories and get them better. So these are the 5 things that really make up our categories. Number 1, when it comes to the tantrums, the meltdowns, the anxiety, the outbursts, what's the frequency? How often? You can use kind of a daily metric, a weekly metric. The second one I've always nicknamed as the decibels. You're looking at this, what we call common gas versus brake pedal or poster we use in our office. If you can see my mouse on the video, what we know is that these raging bull kiddos, even when they're not in an outburst or not in a tantrum, they're only 1 or 2 RPMs away from it. They're idling at 6 instead of where they should be at 0 or 1. So you have no slack. So these kiddos redline, and the red line is the anxiety, the behavior, the meltdown. So what we really also measure is how far down the red line do they go? Is it 10 out of 10 for how long? The third one is duration. How long do they stay stuck in that red line, in that tantrum, in that meltdown? Do you have to get them out of the store? Do you have to just leave the restaurant? Do you have to not even try and go to a sleepover? Do you just have this all day, every day, and you know that if it triggers, you got no chance to get them out of it? Well, that's a higher category when we get into that. And number 4, this is kind of after. No, this is after the meltdown or the tantrum, and maybe they have cooled their jets. Can you have discussion? Is there remorse? Is there processing? This is why kids who really struggle with sensory processing really can't even process the situations that led to the tantrum and the meltdown, which makes behavioral modification, whether you're trying reward charts or discipline, makes it completely useless when a child is in category 3, 4, or 5 or above, because their nervous system blows its lid so much, and the part of the brain that deals with reason, processing, understanding, situational awareness, called the prefrontal cortex, never even is activated, because the part of the brain that deals with these emotions and fight or flight and meltdowns, called the amygdala, is running the show. Told you I wouldn't sneak in too much science, but there you go. And the 5th one, I will tell you this. I have 2 formal I've got 8 years of regular school. Well, I guess not regular. I have a doctorate. I have 2 or 3 different certifications. It doesn't matter. I'm only saying that to let you know I don't know near as much about your child and whether something is right or wrong as you do. No doctor anywhere, no matter the specialty, no matter the building, no matter whether they wear a white coat with their name, the fact that they, have to stitch their name on their coat, or they don't, like me, it does not matter their degree, their specialty. No psychiatrist, no psychologist, no pediatric chiropractor, no pediatrician, nobody knows your child like you do. That is the most true thing, and you can tell I get a little bit passionate about it. That is the most true thing I have seen in 13 years, and I read every research study. I know everything about neurology behind these challenges, and I'll never stop learning more, but I will never stop leaning more on what parents tell me than what science research or textbooks tell me, because it's your kid. You're with them 24/7. You know what triggers, what doesn't, and you know in your gut what's normal and what's not. So when you get on Facebook and it's tough to figure out and decipher whether it is or not, or you go to the pediatrician, or you go to the specialist, and they don't really give you a concrete answer, don't look for a concrete answer. If your parent gut tells you something's wrong, and you need a provider who will listen, lean in, link up with you, and care for your child the way that you want them cared for. Rant over, but it's very important. All right, the 5 categories. Category 0, it means there isn't really a storm, okay? It's not really a neurological challenge. It's just kind of the old terrible 2s, terrible 3s. Yeah, and I'm having fun with this because that's my beautiful little baby one. She's our little fierce and mighty tiny Amelia there. And so she's number 4. So she charges harder to keep up with the rest, right? But healthy as can be, no challenges. No point being on these is there is some age category that we can kind of start to work into this. I don't necessarily have it on the slides anywhere other than here. But if these terrible 2 tantrums stretch into age 3, 4, 5, 6, into preschool, into kindergarten, into these things, then that's a good sign of like, okay, something's wrong. So we can use that. Category 1 is what we like to call the storm is just beginning. It's where your mama and dad gut every now and again, and those are very important words, not all the time, every now and again goes, seems like they really lose their cool a little bit easier than I like, and seems like they really kind of last a little bit longer. I mean, I can get them to calm down. You just got to spend a couple minutes on the side of the aisle in the store, or in the car going in or getting ready for school, but you can get them to redirect and you can get them, but it still starts to give you that little bit of feeling as a parent. These sort of challenges in a kiddo, they will come as kids hit growth spurts, or there's seasonal changes, or there's social emotional bursts that happen as they get into school and these things. Sometimes a kiddo, and we're going to show, by the way, we have a scanning technology that we use in our office for raging bulls, and all you need to know about them as you see each of them on the right, you're going to see as we go through the categories, the colors stuck in that what's called neuromuscular system. Really what it's been shown, about 50 to 60% of the sensory energy from the body that goes into the brain, so over half of it comes just from the spine and just from that part of the structure. That is why kids who have these challenges love big hugs, they love massages, they love weighted blankets or weighted vests and these things, because that is where the real base of their body's stress that blasts their brain. We call this, raging bulls also are what we call noisy brain syndrome kiddos, and have those challenges, and again, just the brain can't shut down, calm down. That's because the body can't calm down. So that's a very mild, there's only a couple reds, couple colors. This category is, when I say care, we're talking about our kind of, not regular chiropractic care, we're talking about drug-free, neurologically focused, neurosensory derived, where each adjustment is designed to calm that sensory system, activate what's called the vagus nerve, and really get and shift a kiddo out of sympathetic fight or flight. We just need to know how far in they are to know how much care they need over how long. It's wildly simple, yet insanely profoundly scientific, and we love it. So, that kiddo, this one, a lot of times our kiddos will already be under wellness care. We've adjusted them since pregnancy, baby, all these sorts of things. And parents will be like, hey, it's just getting a little wonky. We'll run a scan, see that they're there, and just handle it with what we call boost care. Maybe up them to twice a week for a little bit, just to get that stress out of there. And it's super easy to do so. Category 2 is where it starts to happen more often. You definitely start to see them go down that RPM or decibel scales. It's lasting longer. You're having a harder time in the midst of it, really trying to redirect and help your kiddo get through, and just harder to calm them down, harder to redirect. And you're starting to kind of see there, and this is very neurological, by the way, the eyes really tell us a lot about the central or autonomic nervous system. Like, you just can't get them to connect as well and discuss it and understand it. So, and that's a key to just discipline and behavior, and kids growing up and going through these things, that they start to understand the situation, see it coming better the next time, because previously they had good or bad responses, and they get to remember that. That's how the brain works, right? Good and bad. It's constantly learning, constantly plastic is what we call it in neurology. And you're starting to see that start to fade away a little bit with this kiddo. But they still show remorse. They still show some comprehension. It's just a little bit more difficult to get that through. These kiddos, again, always due to really underlying sensory challenges is what these are really coming from. Whether the original stress was physical, emotional, or toxic, that really kind of triggered the perfect storm, or all three, as most kids are. This takes us about 2 to 4 months of some more frequent chiropractic care, neurosensory focused chiropractic care, to get that kiddo to calm and clear and reset and get out of that challenge. Category number 3, there's a problem, right? Like, it's nearly every day, many times per day, really going down that red scale, as you can see. I mean, the scale is used to match kind of the metaphor, the picture of understanding their tantrums and their meltdowns. It pairs in 90% plus of our cases, unless they're on medication, which we'll talk about at the end. 90% of the time, our scanning technology, our neurosensory EMG findings, as they're called, match with the severity. The more severe the tantrums, meltdowns, the more frequent, the more duration, the more decibels, the more they light up that scan, honestly, like a Christmas tree, where it's just stressed throughout, as you see on the kid onto the right. Harder and harder to get this kiddo to redirect, to get ahead of it, to comprehend, and really they start to not show understanding, start to not show remorse for it. This case, kind of category 3, we need another couple of months usually, so we bump that up. Takes us about 3 to 6 months to release and get rid of their stress that's built up in that neurosensory central and autonomic nervous system. The term we teach all the time in the perfect storm is called dysautonomia and dyskinesis. Again, I'll give you some more information about that at the end of this video. But that's about how long it takes to turn the tide and get them out of these frequent, long, loud meltdowns. At category 4, this is a big specialty of our practice. Unfortunately, I want to say fortunately, unfortunately, back when we were building PWC and putting pediatric chiropractic on the map for these challenges, now a lot of people know about it. This may be the first time you're hearing about it, but I'd imagine you've at least heard about it. You may just not understand it in very good detail until you come across this video, and then the perfect storm we'll talk about. But it's really picking up steam, the utilization. Parents just aren't wanting to turn to drugs for their child's neuro challenges because the drugs in that category are a lot of times just challenging to get results with and really come riddled with side effects and dependency and all sorts of other stuff, messing with the gut and the cardiac system. So where I'm just going on a quick little tangent inside this 5-category video is we used to rarely see category 1, 2, 3 kids and get to help that early. We used to joke that at PWC we should answer the phone, welcome to the last resort. Well, parents are much more, there's a lot more information online and in other moms and dad groups, which is phenomenal, about sensory challenges. And now, instead of waiting till a child is 8, 10, teenager, before we saw any kids in our clinic, we are working with, loving, caring for, 1 and 2 year olds and getting their sensory issues and their meltdowns and their tantrums under control without drugs early on. But this is the category that's a bit, and some don't know. Some of you just don't find this video, that recommendation. Unfortunately, pediatricians still just kind of, mostly all of them, take a wait and see approach, and by the time the child is 3, it was colicky, and then they're terrible 2s, and it's terrible 3s, and then it's just that, they're just redhead, they're just a boy, there's just that, and all of a sudden you're 5, 6, 7, 8, and your kiddo's going through significant challenges, messing with your everyday quality of life, getting ready for school, at school, bad reports, meltdowns, grades, behaviors, social challenges, fighting, and you're here. Category 4, constant challenges, can't go anywhere, crazy large decibels, long duration, and nearly, if not entirely impossible to redirect. These category 4 kiddos are for sure. They're normal for us at PWC to really take in a kiddo like this. Again, nothing is a cure. That medicine doesn't cure, chiropractic doesn't cure. The nervous system, the body can, though, if it isn't stressed out, subluxated, stuck, and stressed 24/7, it can help itself out of things. We just need to help it do that. And these kids need 6 to 8 months, sometimes even a little bit more when we're in category 4. Now, category 5 is going to trip you up a little bit as you're looking at the screen on the video here, because category 5, this is a category 5 kiddo who does not have a lot of stress there. But this category 5 child, that's because it's gone into chronicity, which exhausts the nervous system. The nervous system can only be on sympathetic adrenal overload for so long before it wipes itself out and is exhausted. And then really the reason we actually don't see a lot of color and a lot of stress on a category 5 kiddo is a lot of times by the time we see them for chiropractic care, they're already on medications, and medications will mute and cover up and suppress the stress on the nervous system in this category. That is exactly what it's supposed to do. You may think we're super anti-medicine. Not at all. We are super what helps this kid get out of this storm and on their way to better health and healing and the highest quality of life they can have. And sometimes when that lid has all the way blown and there's violence and there's aggressiveness and all these things, thank goodness for medication to put the fire out, to give that family a life preserver, and then hopefully they get to where we are and start to work on really clearing that stress, releasing that tension, and getting it out of there. These are the kids, again, the reason that we see not a lot of stress on the scans is often they've tried multiple meds, and the Zolofts or the Prozacs or those sort of medications are really muting and suppressing the brain and the body's stress to just give them a chance each day to not be so riddled with these challenges and not be able to do anything in life. So a lot of cases, probably about 20% of it used to be 80% of our cases 10 years ago. Now parents find us much earlier. So it's about 20% of our cases that are already medicated and have been through behavioral, Alexians, those sort of things ahead of time, that simply means we have more work to do. These kiddos can take a year or two to get. And when I'm, by the way, in the blue there, as I'm making these categorizations, this is something we have seen. These are the sort of results and timelines we have seen in our office, now running for 12 years. We have trained over 1,400 other chiropractors in our Perfect Storm care plans and such, and they've seen similar results. They are not coming out of a big old randomized clinical trial, meta-analysis. Unfortunately, chiropractic, drug-free based care, whether it's chiropractic or something similar, is completely, woefully underfunded because there is not big groups of shareholders and massive, trillion-dollar, billion-dollar valuation companies who get a lot of good stuff out of it when kids get better without drugs. So this is what we call parent-based and practice-based evidence-based research, which is 2 out of the 3 arms that healthcare is based upon. And really, that's the most important thing for you to know. If you're watching this video and this sounds like something you want for your child to take a drug-free approach, that is your choice. When we talked about the parent gut, what should you do? What you want to do, what is congruent and aligns with your family. If you need more answers than this video provided in terms of understanding how pediatric neurosensory, neuro-focused chiropractic really works, well, then get to one of our next Perfect Storms. We do them virtually. We do them once this world kind of clears up a little bit and we get back to in-person events. That's my favorite way to do it, so we can connect in person. But we do Zoom meeting Perfect Storms every month or every other month at most. You can attend one of those. We go deep into the Perfect Storm, which is the case history findings we always see with maternal stress, birth intervention like forceps, vacuum, C-section, induction, colic, difficulty nursing, frequent ear infections, sick all the time, asthma, allergies. All these sort of challenges are so common. We go deep into the science, even more so than we did with this. We really show a lot of case studies and a lot of the research that connects all the dots. We restore hope and answer all of your questions at the Perfect Storm. Now, in contrast, if we hit the nail on the head with one of your kiddos here today, you've got a category, whatever you want help with, wherever you feel your category of your child's tantrums and meltdowns and anxiousness are, and you don't want to wait for the next virtual Perfect Storm workshop, call us. We'll walk you through it. We'll do a free connection with one of our moms. All of our team started as Perfect Storm moms, so you can connect one-on-one with one of our care advocates and they can explain everything to you. If you need to chat with one of us doctors, no problem. We'll schedule a free phone consultation for that as well. And if you're just ready to get in and see these scans and see where your child is, well, then by all means, get in and get started with us as well. Just give us a call. I'll put the numbers in here with the post, with the videos, our website, our Facebook. There is no way we won't serve you. You can direct message us on Facebook or Instagram. You can email us. You can call us. You can drive to PwC, walk in, and schedule your appointment. Just know this. As kids, nerves that fire together, wire together. A category 1 often soon becomes a category 2 and then a 3 as the stress of school and social and growing and life comes at them. Traditionally, neurology ramps up as they go through life. When they go through with us, neurology tamps down, winds down, calms down, because that is the basis. That is the thing we've really put together with our care and training chiropractors all over the world, how to release and dissipate that neurosensory stress called subluxation. Again, if you need to learn more about it, come attend the next Perfect Storm workshop and we will give you every bit of that information. Or just give us a call, give us a message. We'll get you right in. We've got a team of 5 doctors. We can't wait to restore your hope, give you the answers, but most importantly, give you the action steps and a specific, personalized, customized care plan for your kiddo, because we will figure out exactly what category they are in, so we know exactly what they individually need to get better. God bless. Be well. Thank you for your time. Please share this with another parent who needs to hear it.